We have the Euro Championship qualifiers this weekend. My team Scotland are in action. Come on, the Scots! I'm looking forward to this game.
Sing me a Scottish soccer chant.
A Scottish soccer chant
Freedom! Well played. Well played. He just won. He just won this segment.
You've won the internet.
Yes.
You just broke the internet with that. Good job. So, in light of this, we want to go back to the world rankings and look at some of the most notorious falls from grace at the moment in time. None other than 2010 World Cup winners, Spain, who have fallen out of the top 10 for the first time in, I'm doing my math, 8 years. 8 years, right, thanks. So they've fallen out of the top 10 for the first time in 8 years.
What's your take? Asking him to do math.
Yeah, he's putting me on the spot here.
You built that up like they were going to get Sparta kicked down the hole, but they got kicked and they hit the balcony.
Yeah,
kind of just standing
I
there.
built sort of a letdown with this.
Yeah, exactly. I built it was like 50. Yeah, 8 years. So
back when TV was black and white. No.
Let's look at the top 10. So of course the Germans. Sorry to touch a sore spot here, Pablo. The Germans, World Cup winners. Argentina in it too. Colombia.
We're number 2, baby.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Yeah, number 2. Who remembers 2? No one. 3, 4 is Belgium. 5 Netherlands. 6 Brazil. 7 Portugal, which I have no idea
You're
how.
the one that always says Portugal is just as bad as Scotland. There they are, 7.
Wait, higher than France, Suarez, Chiellini.
Yeah, France. You're just going by notable players.
I'm going by notable players.
Spain at number 11. So, of course, there is notable falls as well. England, 17th, below all those guys there. So, what is your initial thought on this? Do you think this is a direct repercussion of the World Cup?
Well, no. For Spain, the reason why they're 11th, the generation, the golden generation as it's called, it's coming to an end. Iker Casillas, Xavi, Carles Puyol, David Villa, Andres Iniesta. It was an amazing run, but this generation is getting old in the tooth, and the up-and-comers from Spain are just not there. Let's remember, before Spain won that World Cup, for 100 years, they won a total of 0 World Cups. It's not like they're a soccer power. That generation was a soccer power. This is more where they should be in the 10-11 rankings.
So you don't have as much faith in the likes of Koke that's coming up from Atletico Madrid, and there's players in there that just seem to be somewhat sculpted to be very similar to the Xavi.
I just give more respect to the generation that they had before and what they built. And what they had was 100% almost of the teams either played for Real Madrid or Barcelona. So these players were finely tuned for all these World Cups. They played together. They knew each other. It came out perfectly, and they showed in the World Cup they won.
Is Diego Costa not a part of the Spanish team?
No. Yes, he is.
Right. And he had a terrible World Cup.
Yes. Awful.
Correct. I think I'm doing my homework here correctly. And he's come back for Chelsea, and he obviously had a great season. Is he not going to be a major part of the new generation
This is a good point,
players?
and I was just about to transition into that. The World Cup winning team didn't have out-and-out unbelievable strikers, in my perspective. I think Fernando Torres at the time of the Euros was great. David Villa was in his prime, but they relied a lot on their midfield dynasty. They just had. Remember, at one point they played 6 midfielders because they didn't know how many to choose from. They had
But their
Fabregas.
back line was so amazing.
Yeah, and
Iker
the back line
Casillas was the best goalie in the world.
Yeah.
So this team was just solid
what,
throughout.
What I said in the World Cup is they could not play. I came out and I said that they shouldn't be playing the tiki-taka stuff because it doesn't suit that style anymore because people have found it out, and that's why they need to change. And they can utilise someone like Diego Costa because they could partner him. They've got great players. Llorente's doing well at Juventus. They could partner him up there with them and change to more of a 4-4-2 style. They just have to adapt that they've not got the same guys.
I'm not saying they're not a great team.
Yeah.
They're a good team. They're a top echelon team. They're not a Germany. They're not in Italy when they rebuild. They're not in Argentina in my book either. Then you have Colombia coming up. I love Colombia. They have so many young stars. They have a great coach in Jose Peckerman. Careful with Colombia maybe winning the Copa America. And if they had better refereeing in that game against Brazil, which was just atrocious in the World Cup, who knows what could have happened with Colombia. So again, Spain's a great team.
Yeah.
They're just not the best team in the world anymore.
Yeah, that's a good point. And not to fall away from what I wanted to highlight here, not because I'm not an England enthusiast, I do like to
You're smiling.
I like to. I think that this has been coming. I just think that people haven't been noticing the downfall of England as much as they should, and now they seem to be noticing it because of the Champions League and that there's no latter English teams in the competition. But I felt that the English national team has definitely seen this coming. They themselves had a good era when they played Argentina in the World Cup when Michael Owen had that wonder goal. They had a good era. They had some good individual players, but they've never just been an outright dynasty in terms of in the recent years. Not like going all the way back when they were historically fantastic.
The biggest problem with that is in their own league, there's not
homegrown
English
talent.
players playing.
I talked about it when we did a clip on
It's the
why
opposite with Spain. Why Spain was so good.
Exactly, and we did a clip on it. That was my main point. They made up all these excuses about how one of them, surprisingly enough, was that they don't have as good a manager. This is a Telegraph that ran this, as good a managers as they have in Europe. They've got they had Carlo Ancelotti before he went to Real Madrid. They had Jose Mourinho, and then he went and come back. They have fantastic. Look at Pellegrini. They've got amazing managers. Van Gaal,
the best managers.
Horrendous.
Literally the best managers.
Yeah, well, literally, exactly. So that was a invalid excuse, but I have to agree the homegrown talent is something that has to be highlighted, especially with guys like Gerrard and Lampard who came out of their prime and they led their team to Champions League trophies, like Gerrard leading Liverpool.
Is that not why Colombia, who's ranked third, which actually surprised me because not that they didn't have a great World Cup, I thought they did, and they're also, in my opinion, one of the more fun teams to watch because they counterattack a lot. And
because of the Colombian women dancing in the stands?
Because of their dance?
That's what he meant.
Well, there was, when James Rodriguez scored his wonder goal, the cameraman did cut to one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen through a TV in my entire life.
And then cut back to one of the best celebrations that we may have seen as well when they've done the little dance together, very well coordinated.
The next TYT clip, Francis and my man here, Jason, are gonna do the little dance together. I want to see that.
All right, we'll try it. We'll try it out.
You have to see these dance moves, Pablo.
But we cannot end this clip without talking about none other than Bhutan.
Bhutan.
Ranked bottom of FIFA rankings, wins first ever game. And how do they celebrate, Pablo and Jason? They celebrate a KFC.
Oh.
They got a KFC, and that's what happens because they
Ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of fried chicken, baby.
So they're dead last in 209 country ranking system. They beat Sri Lanka 1-0 in their pre-qualifying match for the 2018 World Cup, and it was fantastic for them. The lowly outfit ranked dead last overcame Sri Lanka 1-0.
But by the way, sharing Dorji, I have him in my Bhutan fantasy league. So points for me. Good job.
Good job. How did you choose them?
When we did that draft and I was sitting right behind you, I was screaming at the top of my lungs.
By the way, Bhutan as a team had as many wins in the last decade as us three playing against anybody.
I thought you were gonna really hit me hard and say Scotland. I was like, actually they did have a couple of wins because they're doing well. And come on, Scotland, it's Gibraltar soon. We've got teams against Germany.
You can't possibly lose to them. I looked up everything about Gibraltar.
But that's why I think football and soccer is the best sport. We had a debate about this before.
Yeah.
209 countries trying to be one of the 32 in the World Cup. That's amazing. What other sport can you have 209? Countries right now.
You sell bowling so short, it's unfair.
Yeah.
But I sell balding so bad. That's how I do, baby.
Oh, what a clip. I don't even know how to finish it out. Awesome. If this doesn't get 1 million views, I'm quitting. All right, thanks again, guys, for tuning into TIT Sports. What do you think about the rankings? What do you think about the upcoming games this weekend in the European Championship qualifiers?
And let's do this. To make sure that you guys watch till the end, send us messages on Twitter, @Pablo Alcina. You have their Twitters as well. We will reply to every single one of you.
Every single tweet.
That writes #Bhutan.
#Bhutan.
We are Bhutan.
Yeah,
we are Bhutan.
We are all Bhutan. All right, guys, thanks and subscribe.